And on to some rather sad news. The State Protocol Office has released details about Friday's state burial for the late Major Maxwell Mahama, who was lynched at Dentroboase in the Central Region. According to a statement from the office, a vigil will be held at the Arakam Officers' Mess at Burma Camp today, Thursday, June 8 at 7 p.m. And then on Friday, tomorrow, June 9, the body will be moved to the forecourt of the State House at 6 a.m. for filing pass. Commander Michael Labi of the Public Affairs Directorate of the Ghana Armed Forces has been talking to my colleague Maxwell about the order of the funeral rites.
29th May would go down in Ghana's history as one of our unforgettable moments. That evening, on that particular day, news started filtering, through sometime in the evening about the lynching of Captain Mahama by some residents of Dentroboase who mistook him for an armed robber. Well, ever since that barbaric incident happened, social media has been awash with commentary about his death. I mean, if you monitor the radio, TV, and now we're talking about the final preparations for the late Captain, now Major Maxwell Mahama. I have with me here Michael Labi, Commander Michael Labi. He's with the Public Affairs Unit of the Ghana Armed Forces. He's going to tell us about final preparations for the burial. We understand that today is also, later this evening, there's a vigil also. He's going to tell us more about it and tell us what to expect tomorrow, because we know that it's going to be a full military, burial. He's going to tell us exactly what to expect and what it's going to be like. Tell us the difference between a military burial and then a civilian burial. We're privileged to have you here, Commander Labi.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, tell us about preparations for the final funeral rites for Captain Major, I must say, Major Maxwell Mahama.
Thank you. We are in the final phase of our preparatory works. This evening we're going to start with a vigil. Tomorrow we have the burial service itself at the forecourt of the State House, and after that we do the interment at the military cemetery. Then subsequently there will be other funeral rites for the family in Bali and tomorrow respectively.
Now, yesterday when I was here, you were very busy editing, tributes and all of that. Tell us some of the hectic times that you have to go through to be able to put together this funeral within the short space that you had.
Well, we've had a lot of immense support, and the family has been very supportive. The military is also putting its best. So within the shortest possible time, knowing very well that it's a state burial, we have to garner all the resources that we require, and at that short notice be able to put something together and to make the best out of it to give our colleague a befitting burial.
Now, we know that there will be a vigil later this evening here at the Burma camp. Is it going to be at the Arakan Barracks?
Yeah, it's going to be held at the Arakan Officers' Mess from 1900 hours. Most of the guests will be seated by 1830 hours, that is 6:30 p.m. And it's going to be like a normal service. Unlike normal waykeepings that we know, this will be conducted by the Directorate of Religious Affairs of the Ghana Armed Forces. And we'll start at 1900, that is 7 p.m. this evening.
Okay, so who are we to expect at this vigil? Are we invited? Because we know this unfortunate incident has, caught the attention of, everybody here in Ghana. So who are we to expect at this vigil today?
Well, I expect that there's going to be a lot of people from all walks of life. We're expecting some dignitaries would also pass through. And I can't mention all the lists or the names here that we expect of them, but we expect a lot of people, prominent persons, some VIPs, members of the military high command, and various unit personnel and all others who have been touched by this sudden demise of our colleague to pass through for the vigil.
Okay. Now, the funeral is on Friday. Can you talk us through the program lineup before we come to the military aspect of it, which is going to be featured, prominently at the burial grounds? Can you just talk us through the program lineup, what it's going to be like from the 37th Military Hospital, where the body will be conveyed to the Osu military cemetery? But we have first of all, it's going to be at the State House.
Yes, that is where the burial service is going to be held. The body would be moved from the 37th Military Hospital after being dressed up and everything to the forecourt of the State House between 5:30 and 6 o'clock tomorrow, that is Friday morning. And from 6 a.m. when you will have the opportunity for those who will be present there to file past between 6 o'clock and 08:50, that is by 8:30 the filing past would have been over. for the burial service to start at exactly 9 o'clock. After burial service, which is also at the forecourt of the State House, then immediately after that we will have the interment at the Osu Military Cemetery. It's just a wall away, so there will be procession along the streets. We'll have a lot of military persons lining up the streets, and we will walk through the military cemetery for the interment. And after that, we will have funeral rites also at the forecourt of the State House. Then subsequently, maybe between the 13th and the 15th, they would have funeral rites also at Boli, then 15th to 16th also at Tumu.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, President Akufo-Addo announced that he'll be given a state burial. We already know that, and then that will be with a full military honors. Now, what are some of the things that we are likely to see? We know usually at events like what we're going to see tomorrow, the caskets will be draped in the Ghana flag.
Yes, it will. He was on national duty. Once he's performing a military duty, he was still in active service. He's not retired. And so in the course of such death, you give him the full military burial. And taking the national dimension for which he lost his life, the president announced that it's going to be a state burial. So that means the state is more involved in how the affairs of the burial is conducted. So it is not only for the military itself, but the state itself is fully involved in it.
And then that flag that will be used to cover the casket is the same flag that will be folded and given to the wife?
Yes. Once he was on a national assignment, and you pay the ultimate sacrifice while serving the country. And you know, our national colors, our flag is the soul and spirit of the country. And so it is an honor also that you have passed on while serving your country. So it is normally folded and given to the wife for keeps, for remembrance that his husband passed on while in service.
Stay with us here on the Joy News channel for all the updates you need to know about that funeral service that begins tonight at the Arakam's officers' mess in Burma Camp.